Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today, well, we're looking at something that's now quite old, is very, very collectible and becoming increasingly more difficult to find, especially in this mint unused condition. We are looking at the 2006 release by Sideshow Collectibles from their Heroes of the Rebellion series of Star Wars 12-inch action figures. And this particular one we're looking at today is of none other than the hero of the original trilogy, Luke Skywalker. Now, we all know Star Wars was an American epic space opera film. It was written and directed by George Lucas and produced by his production company, Lucasfilm Limited. And it was released by 20th Century Fox. And it was the first film in the Star Wars franchise and the fourth in the chronological chapter of the now known Skywalker saga. And it was set in the fictional galaxy under the rule of the tyrannical Galactic Empire. And the film follows a group of freedom fighters known as the Rebel Alliance who aim to destroy the Empire's ultimate new weapon, which is the Death Star. Now, when the rebel leader, Princess Leia, is captured by the Empire, Luke Skywalker acquires stolen architectural plans for the Death Star and sets out to rescue her while learning the ways of the mysterious power known as the Force from the old Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. All-star cast. So it starred Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker, Harrison Ford as Han Solo, Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia, Peter Cushing as Grand Moff Tarkin, Alec Guinness as Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anthony Daniels as C-3PO, Kenny Baker as R2-D2, Peter Mayhew as Chewbacca, and Dave Prowse as Darth Vader, which was voiced by James L. Jones. Now, the movie was a tremendous success. It was released on 23rd of May 1977. It ran for just over 2 hours and it had a budget of $11 million, and it's taken at the box office $775.4 million. So an absolute phenomenal return, and obviously that in turn then spawned the next two films, The Empire Strikes Back and The Return of the Jedi. And that was followed some 16 years later by the prequel trilogy, which was The Phantom Menace, the Attack of the Clones, and The Revenge of the Sith. And again, that was followed by the 2015 Force Awakens, followed by the Last Jedi, and finally the Rise of Skywalker, which then completed the 9-movie Skywalker trilogy. Anyway, this particular item we're looking at today is all based on that first movie, and it is of Luke Skywalker as he appeared on Yavin IV at the end of the movie to receive his Medal of Honor. So this is the box it comes in, and right at the very top it says Heroes of the Rebellion. It says Star Wars Sideshow exclusive, and it's got Star Wars 30th anniversary. Okay, so this was released for the 30th anniversary of the said movie. And it says Luke Skywalker Rebel Hero Yavin IV, and it's 1/6 scale figurine, and it says Sideshow Collectibles. Okay, that's the front of the box. Let's just turn the box around and see what we got printed on the back. Okay, so I've turned the box around. So on the back it says, again, Heroes of the Rebellion, and it says Star Wars, and it shows you images from the actual movie where Luke Skywalker destroys a Death Star, and then where they're going to receive their Medal of Honor at Yavin IV, and where they're looking down on the crowd at the end of it. And it says Luke Skywalker Rebel Hero Yavin IV, 1/6 scale figurine, and other figures in the series. So you've got Asajj Ventress and Pye Koon, the other Jedi Master. Okay, that's just the back of the box. Just turn it to the side, and then we've got that image of Luke again. It says, "Heroes of the Rebellion, Luke Skywalker, Star Wars Rebel Hero, Yavin IV, 1/6 scale." And I'm pretty certain it's the same on the other side. Yes, it is exactly the same on the other side. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open the box. I don't know whether I can take the figure out, but let's see what we can do. Okay, so before I take the figure out, I know that we're getting a lot of reflection here from light onto the plastic covering here, but I just wanted to show you the inside of the flap, because I didn't realise at the time, but this flap actually opens, and you've got a lot of information inside here. So it's here. It says, "Heroes of the Rebellion, chartered by diabolical masterminds or driven by armies and force-wielding super warriors, the course of empires and galaxies can sometimes be changed by remarkable individuals in the right place with the right skills. Throughout galactic history, freedom fighters, idealists, and even the occasional mindless philosopher have changed the lives of billions by their actions. During this great civil war that saw the Rebel Alliance fight back against the Galactic Empire's cruel oppression, heroes and leaders emerged from all walks of life, from the Imperial Senate to backwater farming worlds, from high society to fringe-dwelling loafers, all united in their desire to see change in the galactic and restoration of justice for all. Though bravery and force of character, these individuals created a legacy of enduring hope and belief that anyone has within them the power to recreate the galaxy for good. Raised among the senatorial elite, Princess Leia Organa is one of the most famous champions of the rebel cause. Risking everything and losing more than anyone, Princess Leia resists the oppression might of the Empire with a fiery spirit and the true heart of a hero. A star of the Order on court and the darling of the adoptive parents, Leia was well versed in the arts of diplomacy and society protocol, but equally comfortable knee-deep in muck with a blast in her hand and a Wookiee at her back. Counterpoint to his princess, brash smuggler turned freedom fighter Han Solo grew up fending for himself and carving out a reputation in the galaxy's underworld as an ace pilot and a fast gun. Solo's contribution to the fight were often blunt and frequently unconventional, but for all his blasters, they betrayed a noble heart behind his roguish persona. Even the extremely alien and the non-living droids had heroes in the midst, sometimes in spite of themselves, be they the accidental brave Gungan Jar Jar Binks, hero of Naboo, or the perpetually flustered protocol droid C-3PO by contrast. The bravery of such warriors as the mighty Wookiee Chewbacca or the plucky astromech R2-D2 became a legend all over the galaxy and a beacon of hope to oppressed aliens and droids everywhere. Bravery and heroism took many forms, but all left a legacy that would endure for beyond their own lifetimes. Luke Skywalker, Rebel Hero, Yavin IV. As the galaxy struggles in the oppressive grip of the tyrannical empire, a meagerly equipped Rebel Alliance strives to strike a victory against the overwhelming foe. Slim hope comes from secret plans of the Empire's mighty Death Star are stolen by rebel spies. But when Princess Leia's starship is attacked and boarded by Darth Vader and his troops, she is forced to hide them in the memory banks of an astromech droid named R2-D2. Fleeing with the secret plans, he and his counterpart, the protocol droid C-3PO, escape to the backwater planet of Tatooine, leaving the Empire to begin an exhaustive search of the barren world. Eventually, the droids find their way into the possession of idealist young like Luke Skywalker, whose dreams of adventure and excitement far away are fulfilled at terrible cost when the Empire stormtroopers come looking for them. Under the guidance of wise and gentle Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, Luke embarks upon a mission to return the lost plans to the rebellion, enlisting the services of the bold and brash smuggler Han Solo and his loyal Wookiee co-pilot Chewbacca. Discovering the beautiful Princess Leia scheduled for execution aboard the Death Star itself, Luke's noble endeavour soon turns into a fumbling rescue and a desperate escape. All now depends on the heroes escaping the Empire's grip and restoring the secret plans to the rebels. From ordinary surroundings, Luke undertakes an epic journey, as much as growth in himself as one of distance and time, to become something greater than he could ever have imagined. A hero, through his wields a lightsaber and flies a starfighter, Luke is still a young man at heart, just like any other, struggling to find himself in the universe. And it is this that connects him with fans. When audiences see the universe of Star Wars, it is through the eyes of this restless youth. It is in his yearning, his anger, his triumph that fans share as they follow his journey, and it's through his eyes that the amazing universe of Star Wars unfolds before us. The original film concludes with a celebration of the rebel victory at Yavin IV, with a young hero recognised for his great deeds and heroism. 30 years after the original release of Star Wars, it is hard not to feel the same swell of pride and satisfaction to see Luke march down the colonnade of rebel forces to achieve his duel. Okay, and the accessories include flight trousers, undershirt, jacket, boots, belt with buckle, blaster with holster, medal with strap, pistol hand, grip hand, and force hand. Okay, let's see if we can open the box and take him out where we can have a better view of him. Okay, so I have removed Luke from the box, but sadly I can't take him out of the packet because he is all strapped in at the back. But we can have a good look at him. I mean, I can move him from the front, but he's strapped in with his head, and that's all taped in through the packet, and it's taped in at the back, so I can't actually remove him. But what we can see is that he comes with his own stand. As you can see, it's attached around his waist. If I can remove that stand off of there. Well, I don't want to because I don't want to damage anything. But yeah, so you can see that stand is attached to his waist there, and he's got the stand. The base of the stand is behind him, but he looks absolutely fantastic, I have to say. The likeness. Okay, so let's go back to his face. What's the likeness like? Well, that's not a bad likeness of Mark Hamill as he was at the end of the first movie. It does look very much like him. The sculpting is very good, and considering this is 20 years ago, it was done exceptionally well. So I do think that is a very, very good likeness of Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker. And you can see he's got his additional hands on the left hand side. On the right hand side you've got his blaster pistol, and you can see around his neck there is his Medal of Honor, and he's wearing that yellow jacket which he wore at the Yavin presentation, and his flight trousers, his brown flight trousers. He's got his holster on the side there which his pistol will fit into, and he's wearing his long black boots, as you can see at the bottom there. As I said, you've got that stand at the back there. The bottom of this stand slots into the hole in the back of the stand there, so it can be displayed very, very easy, and you see that's attached around his waist. So I don't want to remove it in case I damage it, so I'm going to leave it on. And there you can see there he is with a jacket, and he's got his brown shirt underneath. So the hands are removable. I'll just put his hands up. Obviously they turn round, but they do pull off, so you can pull the hand off and replace it with the hands that are at the top of the packet there, the replacement hands. So you've got an alternative left and right hand, as you can see there. But the hands do move, the elbows move, the tops of the arms move. So you've got 3 points of articulation on each arm. The head moves, the waist moves, the tops of the legs moves, the knee joints move, and the feet move. And so you've got 3 points on each of the legs. So you've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14 points of articulation that is with this particular figure. Now, I think these figures are some of the best 12-inch figures that were ever produced. The likeness are fantastic. The quality of the uniforms and the hands are so nicely supple. And obviously coming with that wonderful 30th anniversary Star Wars stand makes it an absolutely incredible piece. These were some of my favourite 12-inch figures. I do have a collection of them myself, in my own display, and I do think they are absolutely phenomenal. Okay, how well did these figures do back in 2006, I hear you ask? Well, I mean, back in 2006, I suppose we had just seen the end of the Revenge of the Sith. We now had the full history of Star Wars. We were coming up to the 30th anniversary of the original film, so we were still hungry for merchandise. Sideshow Collectibles did release this range of heroes of the Revolution, and also they've done some of the foes as well. So there was a quantity of different of these 12-inch figures that they produced, all absolutely fantastic, I hasten to add. And they're all limited edition runs again. They were only run for a short amount of time. I'm not quite sure of the total numbers, but they were very limited. And obviously, with most of the figures these days, and even back then, figures were run in limited quantities. One, to keep their collectability high, and also to keep their value up. And this particular range was no exception to that. So here is the Rebellion. Very, very nice collection with some absolute fantastic figures. And well, do they come up for sale very often, I hear you ask? No, they don't really. I did have a look on the platforms to see if there was any of them on the platforms. I think I found one over the last couple of years. That was Han Solo. I don't think I found another Luke Skywalker one. But they, you know, if they do, they're very, very few and far between. I did find a couple of loose figures, but they didn't contain all of the accessories. I saw a Luke Skywalker there without the jacket, without the medal, without the additional hands, and without the stand, and without his gun. But generally, like this, there was only one other, and that was a Han Solo figure. So in this condition, which is practically mint, no, they don't come up for sale very often on the platforms, which is hardly surprising because they are now 20 years old and they were a limited run in the first place. And no doubt I'd tell you again that if you are looking to buy any of these on the platform, do be careful. Somebody's idea of very good condition could be somebody else's idea of acceptable condition, and some of the platforms use stock images and stock descriptions, so you could be looking at an item like this, but you could be about to order a used item. So if it doesn't say new on the page, click the used link, which will be there, because if there's no new ones available, they automatically go to the cheapest used one, and that cheapest used one could be a loose figure, missing a load of components, or broken, damaged even, and that will be what you're about to order. So do be careful. Not the fault of the seller, not the fault of the buyer. It's just the way some of the platforms work, which is pretty silly in my eyes, but that's the way they've been designed. Or alternatively, you don't need to go through any of that rigmarole. You can come straight to us at Midas Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles, where what you see in front of you is exactly the item you will receive should you wish to purchase it. And this particular item, as of today, is available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website, where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Star Wars items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I'm absolutely positive this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there is something in particular you're looking for, something old you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful, wonderful vintage Luke Skywalker Hero of the Rebellion 12-inch Sideshow collectible figure with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.